Back in its horsepower-pushing heyday, Crysis was notorious for being the game you could only run on the most tricked-out PC rigs. 4 years and 1 sequel later, it's available on consoles as a budget download sporting a new engine. But don't let the price fool you. While some concessions have been made to bring it to the gamepad-clutching masses, this is essentially the same Crysis that once had PCs crying uncle.
Sorry, love. I'm not going back. I barely made it out alive.
In case you missed it the first time around, and unless your PC was as powerful as the Death Star station, you probably did, Crysis is a sci-fi-flavored FPS set on an East Philippines island crawling with evil-doing North Korean soldiers and extraterrestrials with equally sinister intentions. In 2007, the game garnered tons of praise for its tropical settings, postcard-perfect visuals, and this re-release does an admirable job of retaining much of that eye-pleasing appeal. While PC snobs will no doubt note the duller textures, pop-in problems, autosave stutters, and frame rate dips, those who never played the original will be pretty impressed. From the blinding sunlight cutting through the lush foliage, to the palm trees falling beneath the power of path-clearing bullets, an effect most contemporary shooters still can't match, it's difficult to deny just how good Crysis looks on consoles.
Holy shit! There goes another one!
Back in 07, Crysis was fairly sophisticated for a shooter, abandoning the typical FPS corridor crawl for a more open-ended approach. The console update retains this design, allowing you to adopt whatever playstyle suit you. The Super Soldier protagonist's nanosuit, which grants performance boosts in strength, speed, defense, and stealth, allows you to focus on running and gunning, sneaking and slaying, or lethal combinations of both. Complementing the freeform play are a number of weapon mods that will see you tweaking and upgrading your hand cannons with a variety of scopes, silencers, and secondary fire modes. Supporting the creative killing are tight controls that have been surprisingly well mapped to the gamepad. If you locked, loaded, and laid waste to ugly aliens from behind a controller in Crysis 2, your thumbs will feel right at home doing the same in Crysis. And really, that same sentiment holds true for the experience as a whole. This port's been put out there so those who dug this year's console-aimed sequel can finally experience what the original was all about. If you played Crysis on PC, though, there's no reason to check out this version. In addition to the graphical downgrade, it'll also seem inferior due to the absence of the original's multiplayer modes.
So what's the plan, Psycho?
For the mouse and keyboard crowd, this re-release will serve as little more than a target for negative comparison to the original. However, if gamepads serve as your peripheral of choice, this $20 download is an easy recommendation.
Now that I'd like to see.